But it's interesting. I wrote a piece about how soya trade is the one.
What's the piece there?
So it basically it says that US has something. US is the second largest exporter of soybean. Okay, and what has happened is that and China is the biggest importer of soybean from the US. More than 50% is being imported by China. So in the US-China war, soya imports or soya has come to a pause in China from US, and China is now importing from Brazil.
Okay.
And that is one of the reasons why US has imposed a 50% tariff on Brazil.
So you're saying वो judge वाला piece है वो थोड़ा
हाँ
factual नहीं है.
Factually, basically क्या है कि Brazil is
Bolsonaro is not true. You're saying soya is the real culprit.
Soya is a real culprit because Brazil is the largest exporter, followed by US. US was so $35 billion annual. उसमें से $15-16 billion China लेता था. That has come to a pause. So China has stopped or slowed down on its imports.
तो ब्राजील किसको करता था?
ब्राजील चाइना को करता था. सबसे ज्यादा चाइना 20-25 बिलियन डॉलर जाता है.
अभी चाइना में और ज्यादा
होगा
क्योंकि तो ब्राजील ने जो मार्केट छोड़ दी है.
नहीं ब्राजील नहीं, जो चाइना जो यूएस का मार्केट जो छूट रहा है वो ब्राजील ले जा रहा है.
वो तो ठीक है. तो ब्राजील पर कहीं पे तो करता होगा. ब्राजील हैज फाइनाइट प्रोडक्शन.
Yes,
so Brazil is diverting their production to China. It is vacating some markets.
Yes,
US can take those markets.
But those markets are very small now because after China, the next biggest is Spain, $1.8 billion. कहाँ $20-25 billion Brazil का, and followed by $1.8 billion. So there's a big gap which
Sajeet, there's a big insinuation. You are saying that
it's a fact. I'm talking on numbers.
You are saying Russia oil and the Bolsonaro and the judge and all of that is not the reason. The reason is soya.
So, and because why soya? Because soya is coming from states which are MAGA supported and not Democrats. And there's a cultivation of September, October, which soya has this October to September season, right? So that season is coming up. And if exports are not going to happen to China, then the farmers in these states will be up in arms. And China trade pause, which has happened, if they don't get a decision on that, then soya is going to be impacted. Soybean is going to be impacted.
Okay. This may not be the only reason, viewers, by the way, but could be a strong reason. But Sajeet, the limited point is, if this is one of the reasons that this is happening, then we should prepare for 3.5 years of multiple periods of tariff-led uncertainty.
True. I agree with you.
Did you guys see the news in the morning? It's a FT report. The report says that NVIDIA and AMD have agreed to pay 15% of the revenue, not profits, revenue from China business to US government as tariff. 15% of revenue. Can you beat that? This is done. If this is true, the Trump government doing trade deal company by company.
No, so
it is an unreal, unthinkable deal.
Though true, but look at from the perspective that what NVIDIA and AMD is also saying is that I'm not going to bring it back to US because it's costly for me. So I'm willing to pay that additional revenue, and I'll pass it on to people who want to buy my chips. Simple as that.
I'm not sure if they will be able to pass on that full 15% as well.
Yeah, the point is that
Sajeet,
limited
US में तो वापस लाने का तो पॉइंट नहीं है भाई.
नहीं, बट इंपोर्ट तो होते हैं ना, चाइना में बन के उधर आते हैं ना. जिस चाइना में बन के आते हैं तो वो उस पे तो टैरिफ लगेगा ही लगेगा ना.
This is for business that they are doing. Chips is a restricted commodity, right?
Yes.
तो और restricted product. उस पे अगर चाइना को बेच रहे हो तो US गवर्नमेंट को 15% revenue देना पड़ेगा. 15% of revenue has to be paid.
But it's just a report. It hasn't come in, right? As of
if
now.
This is true, no smoke without fire. Yeah. Limited point. If this is true, imagine
could be an offer.
Trade deals.
Yeah.
That are happening.
But it also means that I'm not willing to manufacture in India as well, right? Sorry, manufacture in US. It also means that I'm going to manufacture anywhere in the world which is cheaper, and I'm going to sell in China.
when it comes to chips, you have manufacture wherever, but if you are doing business with China is the problem. It could be made in US chips for all you care, but if you're doing business, then you have to pay 15%. That's the point.
I'm a little uncertain about that. Means if there's a FT report which is talking about
BBC, everybody is reporting.
Yeah. So could be a proposal which is there, but I'm very little uncertain कि भाई company specific tariff तो कोई लगाता नहीं. It's going to be it's
product specific लगा सकता है.
Product specific लगा सकता है. Product specific लगा सकता है कि saying these chips 15% would be the rate, which is there. But how do you see India thing going? Because this market is now purely buoyant on tariff. Nothing is going to happen. The two, as we said, the two events, one US delegation which is expected to come, and we don't know whether it's happening. Because I saw a Bloomberg report which spoke about the fact that G7 phone call was the turning point for India and US, where Modi was very vehement, saying that we don't want third-party mediation, and we don't accept any charge of yours that you were involved in the ceasefire. So that has put breaks there. But over and above that, there are other agriculture, because it was almost certain, right? We were talking about 15% coming to India, and then suddenly we have 25%, and then additional 25% which is coming in. So